request.
There we go.
Hi. So I
Hi.
saw the request and I just pressed request. So this time it worked.
Yes, it worked.
Hi.
Hi. How is your quarantine going? Welcome to Quarantine Chats with Carrie.
I know you've picked a good time for quarantine chats, and I'm I've gotten used to doing a lot of media and publicity, and I'm doing Zoom dinners and
Yeah.
meetings. So, it's a new way of life, and there's aspects to like about it. Like every Friday night, me and my friends do a Zoom dinner, and so
Nice.
this is going to be a new normal.
Yeah. Where are you right now?
I'm right on, and I live right by Pacific Design Center, which is on the corner of West Hollywood and Beverly Hills.
So you're in Los Angeles right now.
I am. I got locked down in LA.
Oh, I'm jealous.
Where are you?
Jealous. I'm in New York.
Oh, okay. So that's why you always do the East Coast time, and I always do the LA
Yes.
time.
Yep.
Well,
Yep.
it's nice to meet you.
I know. It's nice to meet you too. I'm a huge, huge Siren fan.
Oh,
So
good,
I'm
good.
obsessed with the show since the beginning. I've been watching it on live TV. I love it. So I have so many questions for you about the show.
Okay,
Okay,
go for it.
first off, how did you get to be on the show? What was that audition process like for you?
This was 2016. I got the call from my agent, and he said there's a pilot. And he said they were only seeing a few actors for each role, and they're really interested in you for Helen. So he said, let us know if you like the script. So I read the script. I thought, perfect. I loved the script. It was original. It was organic. And I thought, I loved the character of Helen. I thought this is a perfect role for me. So
Yeah.
I worked on my audition. I went into the audition room, and the person who was in the casting room said, they're so excited about you coming in for this role. And I'm like, oh, that's great. That was really encouraging. And the following week, I got a call from my agent say, hey, we're sending you new sides for your callback because they want to, they want you back in the room.
Yeah.
And start working on the new scenes. And literally within 24, 48 hours, he said, never mind the callback. They want to lock down the contract by the end of today, 5:00.
Wow.
And that's how they do it with these contracts. They like to get them done and dusted very quickly, because I think for every show now, it's standard that they're 5 to 6 year options. So they don't mess around. They don't leave a whole lot of time for people to go, well, maybe we could change this. Maybe it's just like you're going to sign on the dotted line by 5:00, or you're not going to sign on the dotted line.
Yeah.
So I was thrilled. I was thrilled to be cast in this role. And then we went up to Vancouver. It would have been September, October 2016.
Mm-hmm.
And one thing, though, I always knew and was very clear about was Eileen, whoever was going to play Ren. I thought, if we don't buy into Rin, then the show doesn't work. It all rested, the whole premise rested on our leading lady.
Yeah.
And thank goodness we got the most amazing, perfect actress for the role, and she's just extraordinary.
Amazing.
We wouldn't have a show if we didn't all buy into Rin as being a real life mermaid. So, and she's extraordinary, and she works very, very hard. She's fantastic.
She is amazing. I'm curious about that. I think what's so amazing, first of all, about the plot is how intricate it is. There's so many little details in the plot, and you all really work together to deliver it to the audience. And I think it's incredible how authentic each of you are. Not only Rin, I mean, you, the actor who plays Ben Pownell, everyone. It just, all the working parts come together. That's what I love about the show. But what I was wondering, how did they do, is it CGI for the mermaid tail?
Yeah, do you know when they did the pilot, they actually used real tails.
Wow.
For the pilot, very heavy real tails that the actresses had to go into these real tails, and it just was incredibly problematic. So they agreed to, for when we went to season 1, they do the tails by CGI. So when you see our mermaids and mermen, they post a lot of photos with covered in dots, and their clothes are covered in dots. That's for visual effects. And that's one of probably the most expensive aspect of our show is visual effects, and
Yeah.
it becomes it's a very expensive process, and it's a slow turnaround. Like, you can't turn our show out real fast. First, you got to write it, you got to cast it, you got to 8 days per episode to shoot. Post production is a long post production. You've got to do this editing, then the sound, and the additional dialogue, and then the composing of songs, and all of those visual effects take time. So we can't, because a lot of our fans were like, well, can't you just kind of shoot it now and put it on straight away? And it's like, no, guys, that's not how television is made. Some television is made to be real fast turnaround, or you've got your live sitcom shows, but no, this show takes a big post-production period.
8 days to film an episode. That's nothing. That is crazy.
No, it isn't, but kind of in other television shows, like as soap operas, will do 3 to 5 days an episode.
Wow.
So we,
Amazing.
we have the standard normally is 2 to 3 days in Vancouver Film Studio, which is a phenomenal facility. And in Vancouver Film Studio, we have Helen's shop, we have Helen's apartment, we have Ben's apartment, we have the medical center, we have the anchor bar. So all of those scenes that are interior are scheduled for those 2 to 3 days on Vancouver Film Studio. Then there's usually 1 or 2 days on location, which is all of your exteriors. Like if there's a scene on a beach, or if there's a scene at a restaurant, or a scene in a garden, or a scene at Ted Pownall's house, that's location. And then 1 day is tank day. So 1 day is always delegated to tank day, so that's when all the underwater scenes happen on that tank day. The thing that happens in Canada that a lot of people don't realize is Canada has a public holiday every month. So every month we lose a day. So we always have 1 week that's only a 4-day week, because they have public holidays, a lot of public holidays, more than America does. So that's how our schedule's done. A few days in studio, a few days on location, and then a day that's delegated to tank work.
Is there a favorite place of yours to film?
Well, under the water was pretty damn cool.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Yeah, but I had a lot of fun doing my first, tank day with Sarge. And, if we get renewed, I really hope that I'll get some more tank work to do, because it's a different set of skills, and I take my hat off to our leads, Eileen, to Rin and Ben, Alex, because their underwater skills are just phenomenal. I mean, Ben can hold his breath for 5 minutes. Alex Rowe can hold his breath for 5 minutes. Wow. Eileen can hold hers for 4. She's getting up to 5. But they've trained diligently, and they had to do a whole lot of deep sea diving to train for those roles. Mine kind of was a little dog paddle, and I just had to hold my breath for 2 minutes. And then our other mermaids and mermen also have to have similar skills. Underwater skills. So I had a lot of fun doing that. I always loved being in Helen's store, and I also love her house, her apartment, which has become a kind of a recluse or recluse, or what's that word, where it's a sanctuary for our mer people.
Definitely. Is there a favorite scene maybe that you've done so far?
Oh gosh, I've had a lot of
standout scenes that.
Yeah, I've had so many wonderful moments. If I look back to this pilot, to the first episode, was that first moment when Helen sees Rin, that very first moment of mer recognition. Because I think that was such a big deal for Helen, who's spent her whole life keeping the secrets of mermaids, and like Bristol Cove is set on the myth and the fantasies of mermaids, but she's one of those people who knows that mermaids are very real and they're not just a fantasy. And she's been a keeper of this secret and the keeper of the history of this town. So that was a pivotal scene when she first meets Rin, and then when Ben comes to her shop and wants information because he said you saw her. Those were really, really incredible moments. And just that all of those early scenes of just getting to know Rin, to understand her, and teaching her some basic 101 words. And unlike, I think it's been a really fantastic contrast with season 3, where you got the new character Tia, who
Yeah,
like speaks 6 languages, can read
I
books, can
know.
can can fly planes, can write, so that level of sophistication. Rin literally came straight out of water with 0 land skills, so she's had to learn and acquire those skills, and a lot of comedy has come out of those oops
Yeah.
have come out of those scenarios. It's like that scene where Alex goes, okay, teaching a mermaid how to drive. There's been a
Yes.
lot of comedy.
Lots
And,
of
and
those. There's
yes,
one
with
where she
the,
has her baby and they take her to the like mommy and me
oh, that was
classes.
hysterical.
So
That
funny.
was just hysterical. And I think that will always remain a part of this show, because her innocence, there's a purity to her innocence, and it's incredibly lovable.
Yeah.
And I think we're very blessed with extraordinary writers, extraordinary directors, and we get great scripts. And it's just, they've created this world that's so unique and authentic and organic, and they're very clear about the kind of show they want to create. And each season has a directing producer. So we had Nick for season 1, and then we've had Joe for 2 and for 3. And they're there the whole time, overseeing the kind of style and the tone of each episode, because each episode has a guest director. So the people in charge, like our directing producer and then our showrunner and our godfather, they're the ones, and our line producer, who oversee that the whole show is keeping in sync with what our bosses want and what the network wants.
There's a really, I think what's so admirable is there's this really good balance, as you said, between the comedy and the drama of this show. I mean, it almost,
Yeah,
especially this past season, it almost took my breath away. Every episode, I'd just be glued to the screen. And it's not,
yeah.
it's just the dynamic, I guess, of all the actors with Tia. I thought that was an amazing addition to the show. So yeah, I don't know. It's just, it's amazing. Everything you guys
It's
do, from the CGI to the acting to the, it's, yeah, it's amazing.
Do you know our godfather, and I call him our godfather because he's the writer of this
Yeah.
whole world and the executive producer. And before it went to air, he just sent us an email saying, guys, I think this is a stunning season and the best season so far. and
Agreed.
and it was because there was so much going on, and all of these different dynamics that happened with the new characters of Tia and Rob, and the thruple having problems, and just it just had a lot of human drama, but it also had a lot of oceanic drama, and
Yes.
going to the Antarctic and meeting this whole new really cool looking tribe with Yura, and a tribe
Yes.
that
Maddie's boyfriend
yes,
tried.
absolutely. And this
Amazing.
tribe that kind of are born female and turn into males in order to procreate. I mean,
So
and this
clever.
this apparently happens a lot in with mammals in the ocean world. So we got to do a whole lot of new things, and the visuals. I mean, God, the opening of season 3.
Yes.
I see, an actor. I don't. That scenario with Tia in the helicopter, in the plane, where she
Why?
gets on and disguised as an air hostess, and then kills those guys and parachutes out and then turns into a mermaid. I mean, that was James Bond, hands
Yeah.
down James Bond, and I think one of the best openings I've seen in a long, long time. So Tia got to do some great stuff. And I compliment the actress, because it takes a very good actor to play a lovable baddie, a
Yeah.
baddie that people really like her, but they really hate her too, and she wants to see her get her comeuppance.
Yeah.
So you
I
got to
hated her.
understand.
I was
I
just
know,
rooting for her to go away.
I know. We just couldn't wait till she got killed off, but it was always
Yes.
like the tension was, well, because she was very sophisticated,
Yes.
incredibly sophisticated. And then there was, thank God, that Rob's tribe came to the rescue at the last minute. Otherwise, you wouldn't have had that outcome.
Yeah.
You wouldn't have had that outcome of Rin being able to Rin's team being able to win the war, and then her becoming the ultimate, the mermaid queen, the kind of reigning alpha.
And it was about time. The whole
yes, thing. It was, and it's like, you know, and then here she is left on that rock in that beautiful, beautiful, stunning image. I mean, episode 10, and so Joe, our directing producer, he did 1, he did 4, and he directed 10, and you can see he establishes the style and the tone and the pace of it, and then they maintain it. And he also too did a stunning job on season 2, the mini season finale at 8, which was like another James Bond episode, when we went and destroyed the whole, the mermaids went out with blowtorches to destroy all the oil. Yeah, that's Joe. We just love Joe, and he's just, they're so intrinsic to you know, we show up and do our bit, but it's the directors and our producers and the entire, it takes a village to kind of pull it off. Yeah,
it does, and clearly it did pull off. So as this episode goes, I have to ask, season 4.
We still don't know.
Oh,
I know.
killing me.
I know, we still don't know, and this has been unusual because normally in prior normal years we would have found out in May, but this is the year of COVID.
Right.
And so there are a lot of things that have come up that I guess the studio needs to determine. And like, we've all been getting frustrated playing a waiting game because we all really, really want to do season 4. We love our show. You know, we love our show. We love each other, and we love our crew, and we just love each other. And it would be so sad if we don't do it again. So I'm just trying to keep positive that we're going to go to season 4. What they have to figure out is timing, because Canada, the borders are still shut. So in a normal year, it gets announced in May, we go to Canada, Vancouver in July. Well, that's not going to happen because this is not a normal year. This is COVID. So I think they're trying to figure out when and how and when. And I think we will get an announcement in July.
Okay.
And because there's just so many things at consideration here, because like for a lot of studios, they've had to push all of their shows till next year. So it's like, how do you juggle all of these shows?
Right.
But you know, we just got to keep really positive. I mean, we have an amazing, faithful, fervent fan base. We have the best fan base. And I think we'll all be crying.
I'm crying. I was crying.
I know. I will cry. I will feel myself crying.
Fingers crossed. I'm going to be hoping for season 4. I miss it. And yeah, I will definitely stay posted. Thank you so much for coming on. Before you go
you're so welcome. Listen, and I'm happy to do it again whenever. And if you want to gather some specific questions from your following, if you know, we can do it again.
Of course.
Just come up with, let's have some really specific questions, and maybe by then, you know, we might have a bit more of an indication. But please, anytime, I'm really happy to support you. Because this is a new phase for you, isn't it? You very talented author, actress, and this is you.
Thank you.
Creating your quarantine. So I'm really happy to be one of your first guests, and bring me back. Okay.
Of course. Before you go, I take a screenshot for the thumbnail. So first you'll smile.
Next time I better glam up for you.
Right,
you know, but I've been seeing it a lot.
Oh, perfect. All right.
I've been seeing it a lot with people who are doing Zoom, like even on TV, like Kelly Clarkson, and people just being really casual and just no makeup, and it's kind of like pretty cool. That people just say, "Hey, I'm in my home element. This is me."
Why not? My T-shirt.
No, next,
don't worry about it.
Next time I will take my hat off and fix my hair up. But
you got it. All right. Well, thank you. It was so great talking to you.
Great
Bye.
to meet you. Bye, love.
Nice to meet
Bye.
you. Hello.
Hi, babe. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good.
Wait, you
Out
look
here.
gorgeous. Your makeup.
Thank you. I actually forgot to bring. I just had a tennis lesson and I was freaking out because I forgot my foundation. So I have everything but that.
Really? Well, your skin is glowing. So
thanks. It's a lot of cover up.
It worked. If I looked like that after I worked out.
Oh, stop it.
Well, how is everything going? How is your quarantine? I haven't seen you in forever.
I know. I'm not gonna lie. Quarantine's been hard. I've been having a tough time. I've been so bored. I hate not being able to work, and I don't know. It's just like I'm over it. How have you been?
I've been all right, trying to stay productive. I've been taking college courses, trying to get a head start.
Oh, that's cool. What are you taking?
I just took calculus. Just trying to get the bad stuff out of the way so I can start like what I'm really interested in. So I'm taking calculus.
Which is what?
I'm majoring in journalism and minoring in fashion studies.
Oh, I love it. That's perfect for you.
Yes. So I'm taking calculus and I'm taking history this summer.
Oh, wow. Good for you, girl.
I just want to get it done.
Yeah. Well, now's the time to get it done, right?
Yeah. Well, so many people on this live are fans of Famous in Love. So on behalf of these fans, I'm going to ask you some questions about Famous in Love.
Yeah.
So first of all, like what was that audition process like for you? Where were you when you found out you were cast? Just like take us through the beginning.
Okay, I actually auditioned for the role of Cassie, which Georgie Flores played. Oh my god, this guy's like about to hit my car. Oh my god, he's so close. He's good. Okay, so yeah, I auditioned for Cassie, and then I loved Cassie, but I just fell in love with the character of Alexis, and I remember I said to my mom, I was like, whoever gets to play this Alexis character is so lucky. And they called me back for that role, and I thought like it was a joke because she's supposed to, in the script, she was written to be this like little tall, skinny model girl, and it was not me. And I went in. I did a callback with like Marlene and some of the producers, and then I went in for a network test and a studio test, which was terrifying because they mic you up and there's like 30 people in the room. You're like on a stage. It's the weirdest audition process, but I just thought, I'm going in for Alexis, I might as well go for it. So I went in like with my little sunglasses on and my little like kombucha, and I was like, just give me a minute, guys. And then I found out that night on my way to acting class, I was in the car and I literally had to pull over because I was like hyperventilating. Yeah, but it was a crazy process.
What was it like playing a character that's so like, different from you, I guess? Kind, sweet soul.
Isn't.
Sometimes.
She has her moments. Yeah. I don't know. I think that her and I are actually really similar in a lot of ways. So I don't know. It's fun to play characters. It's more fun, in my opinion, to play characters that are not like you. So I don't know. It was great. Like I honestly have never. It sounds weird, but I've never had such an easy time acting before. Like I just knew how she wanted to say everything already. Like it just kind of came out. I didn't have to put a lot of like the amount of work that I usually put in. For some reason, she just came very naturally to me.
Was there a favorite scene you got to do? Your favorite day on set?
Yeah, I loved the backsplash reunion.
Yeah,
that was fun. We had to they told us to do bad acting, which you never get to do. So that was so much fun. We were just like laughing hysterically the whole time. And I mean, I got to, there was one scene where I cut my hair off, which was fun because I was wearing a wig. And it was so like liberating to feel like you're just chopping your hair off.
Oh, funny.
That was fun.
Someone just said, what do you and Alexis have in common?
We're both obsessed with our careers. We both are loyal. Well, I guess she tried to be loyal. Yeah. No, but I think like we're both just incredibly driven and like control freaks in the sense where we want to control our success. So I really like resonated with her in that sense, but she's definitely like a much meaner, hardcore version of me.
Yes. When I first met you, I didn't know what to expect because I'd been used to seeing Alexis on screen.
You were probably like, whoa, this is not
what I expected. No, literally, guys, Niki is the sweetest person ever. Nothing like Alexis.
We had such a cute little day, and then when we finished lunch, it started snowing on us.
I know.
So cute.
Gosh, that place closed.
Oh, really? Oh, wasn't it like in the like there was stuff everywhere, right?
Yeah.
It was like, I think it was in the process of closing.
Yes.
Did you get some good stuff before it closed down?
I didn't.
Oh, that sucks. I didn't either.
I'm gonna miss Fred's. That was my go-to brunch spot.
You loved that spot. That was a damn good salad.
It was so good. Oh,
yeah.
Anyway, back to Famous in Love.
Okay, yeah.
What was it like working with Bella Thorne?
Oh, it was lovely. She's just like, my favorite thing about Bella is she is completely unapologetically herself, and if you don't like it, you can get out. And that's really admirable, especially in a world where actors like are I think used to being taken advantage of quite a bit. Mm-hmm. And she didn't let that happen to her or any of us, which like she was very protective of us, and that meant a lot. That was really special to have that.
Yeah. Do you have any standout moments with Bella? Any bloopers? Or any bloopers?
Yeah. One time, what was that?
It could be a blooper in general, not necessarily with Bella.
She was like pretty silly. Like she was always doing weird stuff. Like one time she was in the middle of a scene, and all of a sudden, like, I guess she found like a weird like African tribal mask somewhere like as a set piece, and in the middle of the scene she like turned around and then comes back into the scene with this like full mask on.
So
she was like always pulling little shenanigans, that one.
I love it. So what was it like when the show came to a close, I guess? What was that last day on set like for you?
It was weird because every time like we would end a season, we wouldn't know if we were going to come back or not. So it was always like, it was sad leaving. And it was also very anxiety provoking because it was like, do I treat this as if it's the last time, or do I try to have a positive attitude?
Yeah.
But it was tough, and it had been so long since we'd stopped filming that we found out that the show was done. So I think like we kind of were used to at that point not working every day. So it was a little bit easier, but it was tough. Like we all had a really hard time with the fact that it ended because we loved it so much and we were such a little family.
I was so sad when it ended. I remember Googling it, and I was like, is there a Famous in Love new season? And it said, no, it was not renewed.
I just want to know what happened. Like, do I get out of the mental institution? Like,
I know. I was so sad. I really wanted to know what happens. I'm going to read some fan questions for you. Who used to forget the script the most? That's a great question. I'm curious.
Oh, I don't know if I should say. All right.
You?
I would say Perry had her moments. She played Nina. But I also had my moments. Like like God bless my coworkers because they were all so prepared. And in life, I'm always very prepared. But when it comes to acting, I kind of just like go and see what happens. So I had a couple moments where like it's always just like one sentence that you can't remember for the life of you for some reason. But everyone was really, really easy and good, and we had a great script supervisor that would just yell at us like whatever we needed to say. She could tell on our faces we were forgetting it.
I mean, it's not necessarily a bad thing when you forget the script all the time. I mean, from my experience, when I was acting, I was like in the moment when I forgot. Like someone was emotional in the scene, and then I was so into what they were doing, I forgot my line.
You forgot. That's kind of the best. That's like the best thing you could ask for.
Yeah, it means you're really living in the characters. So it's not always a bad thing.
Yeah.
Who was your favorite scene partner?
I loved acting with all of them, but I would say Carter probably because like I don't know, he does this thing when he's acting with you where he like zeroes in on you and you're like the only people there. Like it's a really powerful he has like, he makes the connection really powerful somehow.
And he's so handsome, so that must have been
Yeah,
lovely.
that really did not hurt the situation.
I remember meeting him at the Teen Choice Awards, which is when I first met you.
Oh yeah.
We didn't know each other. I thought he was so beautiful and so nice. So
he's a sweetheart. He's literally just
love him.
Soul, yeah.
Who was the prankster on set?
Oh, me, 1000%.
Yeah. 100%. Any good pranks?
I used to prank Keith all the time because I felt like he was the hardest like person to get a rise out of. Like I would spend all day doing a very elaborate prank on him and then like waiting for his reaction and then nothing. And then the next day I'd be like, "Did you see my prank?" And he'd be like, "Oh, yeah." So Keith I worked really hard at. I did one, like Charlie and I had this little war going on where we would lock each other out of our trailers, which probably really annoyed the crew now that I think about it. Yeah, so I don't know. We had like one time I put like little, those little candy hearts?
Mm-hmm.
I did like a whole trail through the studio leading to Keith's room, like all around his little toilet.
That is
he didn't say anything. He didn't even care.
You have pictures?
I probably do somewhere.
Okay,
actually.
You have to send me these pictures. I'm curious.
Okay.
Someone said, what is it like working with Marlene? I love her and her work from Pretty Little Liars, so I'm very curious.
She's a badass. She's just like, I mean, it's hi Teresa. My friend just came on here. She's lovely. She's a very hard worker, and she has her niche down and she's excellent at it. And I want to be her one day. So it was amazing being able to work alongside someone who you look up to so much. Mm-hmm. Hi, Lucas.
All your buddies coming on.
All my friends. See, I have friends.
I've been following you for years. Let's see. What was Crafty like on set?
It was fabulous. I love you, Lucas. It was fabulous. The Crafty situation was like crazier than I've ever seen it. We had every type of milk you could ever imagine.
Interesting.
Name a milk, we had it.
Wow.
So that was nice. And we had like, our Crafty people were so sweet. Like when Christmas came, they did a little special different thing every day, like leading up to Christmas. It was really pretty solid. It sucked having to leave Crafty.
Crafty's always the best.
Yeah.
Guys, if you don't know what Crafty is craft services, the food, how do we describe it? Like the food and drink setup on set?
Yeah, just all the free food that you could ever want, basically.
Yep, in between takes, you go to Crafty, you get your snack.
Yeah, and your milk, apparently.
And your milk. That's so strange and random.
I guess we had a lot of like preferences. I don't know.
Selection of milk. I don't know. At the beginning, did they ask you what Crafty snacks you wanted?
No, they didn't. Now that I think about it, maybe they should have.
They should have. Well, maybe in the future, by some miracle, there will be a new season.
Maybe you never know.
Like look at Full House.
You're right. You're so right.
Have you seen that, by the way?
No, is it good?
It is so good.
I gotta see it. I can never really get into like the original Full House, to be honest.
Same. Just Full House.
Really? But you like the new one?
I love the new one.
Okay,
it's so cheesy, but it just makes you laugh.
Okay, I need that right now. It's right up my alley.
Give it a shot. What have you been watching lately?
Well, oh god, it's so embarrassing. I have been watching. You know what Love Island is?
Yes.
So embarrassing. Hi. Yes. It is like the addiction in my house right now. Like we the other day spent all day, like we did not leave the couch because we just had to see how it ended, and we're very addicted to it. I feel my brain cells like dying as I watch it. Can you hold this cup, please?
Well,
that wasn't for me.
Thank you. Before you go, I do a selfie at the end of every quarantine chat for the thumbnail. So, pose. So cute. Okay. Thank you. I love you. I miss you.
I miss you too. It was so good to see you.
You too.
When this is over, I'm gonna do a little trip out there.
Yes.
Okay.
Absolutely.
We'll find a different salad.
Yes. Oh. Okay. All right. Love you.
You too. Bye.